Welcome to SAN TV's South Asian Youth Icons show. In a world where youth often feel unheard, some rise with purpose, passion, and a voice for the voiceless. Preena Verma is one of them. A social impact leader, a gender equality advocate, a martial artist, a singer, and a cultural promoter, Preena represents a new generation of South Asian change makers. As the youth president of Rejoice Health Foundation, she has championed women's health, disability inclusion, and transgender rights. Beyond activism, she uplifts India's artistic heritage and believes in the transformative power of sport and music. Today, on SAN TV's South Asian Youth Icons, we sit down with this trailblazing young leader to explore how one voice, which is driven by compassion, can spark a national change. Hi Preena, welcome to the show. We understand that you've traveled all the way from India and you're here in Scotland for only a few days.
Thank you so much for having me.
When are you returning back to?
Just after 2 days.
All right. Welcome to the show, Preena. Let's begin with your journey. What sparked your passion for the social change at a very such young age of yours?
So growing up, I've seen my parents do so much for the community. I've seen them distributing medicines for free to the underprivileged. I've seen them working towards women's sanitation. They're both doctors, so they do a lot in the field of healthcare. That really inspired me. And they always tell me that empathy is nothing without action. I really want to embody that.
All right, that's nice. You wear many hats as an advocate, as a martial artist, as a youth leader. How do these different identities come together in your work?
So I just want to make my life interesting. That's why I do all of these things.
Right.
But I feel that if we do a lot of things, it makes our personality better. It makes us more engaged and with the community, with the people.
Right.
I love that.
All right. That's nice. Preena, as a youth president of Rejoice Health Foundation, you have led a lot of national campaigns on women's health and sanitation, right?
Yes.
Now, what have been the most eye-opening moments that you can actually describe us from that work of yours?
So we organize a lot of camps for distributing clothes and food and sanitary napkins. So I was at a hospital in Delhi. It was a government hospital. And I was meeting some young mothers. They were really young. And when we were distributing maternity pads for them, they did not know how to use them. And it was something so novel, something so new. And me providing that facility to them was just amazing for me. That I'm doing something for the community that really matters.
Yeah, so that's one of the eye-opening moments that you have seen from that campaign of yours.
Absolutely.
That's nice. You've worked with a lot of marginalized groups, including the transgender and disabled communities. What challenges do they still continue to face, and how can we create more inclusive spaces for these?
Well, at the primary level, I feel the stigma, that's the biggest thing that they have to tackle in daily life. The people, their family, their own friends, the community, schools where they are supposed to learn and grow, these safe places, they discriminate against them. And that makes them internally weak. So when we don't realize our internal strength, we can't fight with other people and ask for rights.
Right.
So that's the biggest challenge they face. Another is that there are laws in place, but the implementation can be weak at times. So bridging that gap between laws that exist and discrimination, stigma that happens on the ground level, that's a big gap that we need to fulfill.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gender equality is a core part of your advocacy. What are the most pressing issues that young women in India face, and what actually do you think need to change?
So as a student of sociology, I have studied a lot about this subject. So I can say that at every level in society, maybe it's the structural or the systematic, governance, politics, or even infrastructure, public spaces, all these spaces have deprived women of their existence. They treat women as second-class citizens, which is, well, not okay. So women face, multifaceted challenges. And to tackle those challenges, they are fighting back. They are educating themselves. They are getting in the workforce. They are getting economically independent. They're asking for ownership in land, and we are supporting them.
Right, okay. And how can young men be included in this conversation around gender equality and social responsibility?
So, socialization begins at home. If we teach our young men, the young children, that they have to treat everybody equal, irrespective of their gender, their identity, their physical disability, or just their being. They are human beings first and then their identity.
True.
So, socialization, as I said, begins at home. We must teach them how to be respectful of others.
Okay, that's what the parents should take care of.
Absolutely.
Educating the younger men as to how you need to socialize and how you need to not have that discrimination when it comes to gender.
Yes.
Right. Preena, you also promote Indian handicrafts and folk arts. Why do you believe cultural preservation is essential in a social development?
Culture is who we are. It is our identity. Art and music, dances, they say a lot about a civilization. Our handicrafts, the people who do these works, they have been doing this for generations now. To preserve that, it is my honor, to be very honest with you.
True, that's right. Can you share a moment where art or music helped you bridge social or generational divide in your in your campaigns?
So at Rejoice Health Foundation, we host a lot of cultural events.
Right.
So at one cultural event, we invited different kinds of people from Delhi and all over India and abroad.
Right.
So they all came together. They were from different age groups, different religions, communities, classes, castes. They came together to promote Indian art. They sang together, ate together,
Right.
and it was a collective effervescence. We really enjoyed that.
And that actually contributed towards that community work being more fruitful when it comes to having a lot of different activities, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. So I also, during the introduction, as we know that you're also a very good singer. So just to let our audience hear a few lines of how you sing, would you mind singing a couple of lines for us?
Absolutely.
All right. So please go ahead.
So it goes like,
Yeah.
अपने तन दी खबर नहीं, सजन दी खबर लागे कौन, ना मैं खाकी ना मैं आतिश, ना पानी ना पौन, अपने तन दी खबर नहीं, सजन दी खबर लावे कौन, ना मैं खाकी ना मैं आतिश, ना पानी ना पौन, वे बुल्लिया साइया मैं घुट घुट रोइया, मैं बुल्लिया साइया मैं घुट घुट रोइया, जीवे आटे विच लून, जीवे आटे विच लून.
Thank you so much, Preena. That's really amazing. That you sing really well.
Thank you so much.
Moving on from music, Preena, we also know that you're a very multi-talented person. We spoke about your martial arts. So as a state-level Taekwondo champion, what lessons from martial arts have influenced your leadership skills? And also to add on, how does a sports and physical discipline, what role does it play in empowering young people, especially girls?
So Taekwondo taught me how to be a disciplined person, how to work in a team,
Right.
how to be empathetic to others, be physically as well as mentally strong, which is very important to be a leader.
Yeah.
When it comes to girls being able to protect themselves and being able to do sports, I feel it is very essential for everybody, not just girls, to be physically active and to be involved in some kind of sports that teaches us how to be better citizens because of the discipline part.
Yeah.
And because girls in South Asian communities and all over the world, they are vulnerable to violence. Hence, it is very important for young people, especially girls, to be active in sports.
Right. You're currently pursuing law alongside your activism. How do you see that legal education is empowering your advocacy in the long term?
I see myself being a policy maker in the future.
Right.
So law becomes a very important foundation for my journey.
Okay.
Yes.
And is that some kind of a long-term goal that you've set for yourself, or?
Absolutely, it is.
All right. Looking back, Preena, what's been your proudest achievement? If we ask you to quote one of the proudest achievements so far, and what did it actually teach you about leadership?
So in school and in college, I was active in leadership roles.
Right.
But my first very important leadership role was when I became a captain of Unity House. That was a house in my school.
Right. They have 4 different houses in
They
the
have a lot
schools.
of different houses,
Right,
different
right.
colors. It was blue.
Okay.
So, yeah. So when I became the captain, I had to head a lot of people. So my juniors, even my seniors.
Right.
I had to collaborate with teachers, the staff members. There was a lot of work to do. They taught me how to be multidimensional, how to be, expand yourself as a person. That really helped me, that has helped me today for becoming who I am.
So you consider going back to your school days, that is your proudest achievement, becoming a captain of your Unity House in the blue colors.
It was the beginning of my journey, yes.
That's nice, absolutely brilliant. And what advice would you like to give the South Asians who want, to make a difference in their communities, but they really don't know where to start? What would you like to tell them?
I believe our culture is our strength. If we keep our people together, if we keep our societies together, host cultural events, meet once in a while,
Right.
Read stories like Ramayana and Mahabharata with each other, teach our children how to speak our own languages, we can empower ourselves and the community around us a lot.
Right. So that's what you want to, voice out to the South Asians who wants to make a difference.
Absolutely.
All right. Before we wind up the show, we already heard a Hindi song from you. We also know that you can sing multilingual songs. So we would like to wind up the show by listening one of your English version, if you can sing an English song for us, please.
Sure, I would love to.
All right. Go ahead.
So this song is called Creep, right?
Okay.
It's by Radiohead, but I'm singing the jukebox postmodern version of it.
Right.
So it goes like, when you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in this beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so very special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Thank you.
That was really special. Thank you for humming that song for us, and we are really thankful for you joining us this show. And it's a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
In conclusion, Preena, if I may ask you, what do you think? What is your take on the role of families in nurturing, especially the second and third generation youth? What do you think is the role of families?
So families have always been the backbone of the South Asian community. Yeah. When we have each other, we know that when whatever happens to us, we always have each other's back. So, living in another country, you might feel alienated from your parents, your grandparents, and even your culture. So just being involved in the community, going to temples, doing some service, learning a regional art, a language where you come from, that helps you, be rooted in your culture.
Right. So the families should be actually passing this message on to their next generation.
Yes.
Sounds good. Preena Verma's journey reminds us that leadership isn't about age. It's about courage, it's about conviction, and it's about community. Whether she's promoting inclusive health, empowering women, or amplifying India's cultural legacy, her work speaks to a future where youth lead with empathy, with action. We thank Preena for sharing her inspiring story with San TV and with our young viewers across the world who dare to dream differently. Here is to more youth icons like her, bold, grounded, and unstoppable.